Hello, and welcome to Learning Science by Being a Scientist. In this video, we are going to explore how and why scientists construct explanations. Have you ever looked at the moon in the night sky and wondered why its appearance changes gradually from night to night? What about the weather? Have you ever wondered why we are more likely to experience hurricanes between June and November? These are all examples of natural phenomena. A natural phenomenon is some sort of process that occurs in the natural universe that happens because something specifically causes it to happen. When scientists try to figure out why these natural phenomena happen, they are investigating something called cause and effect. What do we mean by cause and effect? When we look at a natural phenomenon, like the tides that occur along the beach near the ocean, we are seeing the effect. That is, we are seeing how the water level rises up to the beach as it moves towards high tide, and how the water level drops back down as it moves toward low tide. So if the phenomenon we are observing is the effect, then what is the cause? The cause is the thing that is making the phenomenon happen. Whenever you are observing something happening in the natural universe, there is always a cause, some natural event or process that makes it happen. So if there is always a cause for every effect that can be observed in the natural universe, how do scientists figure out what those causes are? To figure out the effect of a cause and effect phenomenon, a scientist needs to understand the basic forces at work in nature. For example, in order to understand why we see different phases of the moon, we first need to understand how and why the moon moves the way it does. Once we understand that the light from the sun shines on both the Earth and the moon, and that the moon goes around the Earth as a result of gravity and the moon's own motion, we can represent this using a model. Remember when we learned about how scientists develop and use models? We learned that models are a way that scientists represent different natural phenomena and processes, and that scientists can use these models to study these processes to figure out how something works. So, once we have our model, we can use it to figure out why something happens. With our model of the Earth, Sun, and Moon, we can figure out how, as the moon moves around the Earth, we see it at different angles, sometimes seeing more of the light side, and sometimes seeing more of the side hidden in shadow. This model shows us the cause and effect relationship. The cause, in this case, the motion of the moon around the Earth that changes how much of the visible side of the moon we are able to see, results in the effect of seeing the cycle of the phases of the moon. Models aren't the only way that scientists construct explanations. Oftentimes, scientists will conduct observations of natural phenomena and use their understanding of the basic forces at work in nature to figure out what is causing the effect of the phenomenon. For example, by understanding the basic science behind the water cycle, we know that in order for evaporation to occur, we need to add heat energy to water. And the more heat you add, the more water will evaporate and cause water vapor to rise into the air. By collecting weather data, scientists can figure out that between June and November, the temperature in the tropical waters of the Atlantic Ocean are the warmest all year. By applying an understanding of evaporation, this means that more warm water evaporates and rises off the tropics during these months. When this happens, we are more likely to get hurricanes. Cause: warm water evaporating and rising into the air. Effect: hurricanes in the tropics. When you can figure out the cause and effect relationship between something that happens and the something that causes it to happen, you have constructed an explanation. So there you have it. An explanation is something that connects the cause and effect relationship of some natural phenomenon and the thing that makes it happen. One way that scientists construct explanations is to use models of natural systems to figure out how and why something happens. Another way scientists construct explanations is to collect data about a natural phenomenon and use that data to figure out how different conditions and forces cause something to happen. Thanks for watching. Come back soon to watch more videos about what scientists do. And remember, the best way to learn science is to be a scientist, and that means doing what scientists do.